Here's the wild thing about your mind. It doesn't care if you're happy. It just wants to keep you alive. So it would rather put up with misery, unhappiness, really bad circumstances than risk unfamiliar freedom. Welcome to the crazy world of our minds. Hey, I'm Eloise. I'm an intuitive healer based in the UK. Now, before I was doing healing, I did a lot of life coaching. I've done a lot of things in my time. You can look at my LinkedIn profile and see all my madness. But I've always been interested in consciousness, the brain, the mind, like all my life. And it stems from the fact that I'm dyslexic. So I was fascinated as a kid why I could do things that other people couldn't, and other people were doing stuff every day that I couldn't, like spell. And so I got really interested in the mind and the brain and consciousness and all the rest of it. And now I teach it for a living. So cool. Anyway, I had a client session this week, and the session was talking about this whole thing that the mind would rather keep us in our familiar bad situation than risk something different, because that playground that your life is in at the moment, even if you're unhappy, maybe you've got loads of debt, maybe you're in a really bad situation, it's known. So it is familiar. It knows how to survive in your current environment, which may be a prison, but it understands that. Whereas if we had anything different, that's dangerous because it's unknown. So your brain is trying to keep you safe, even if it's really bad. So it's not great. Your brain kind of sits in survival mode. It wants to keep you safe. So it will overestimate threats, it'll overestimate dangerous things, and it will underestimate opportunities and things like this because change is unknown, and unknown things means possible death. Believe it or not, that's how you're wired. So our ancient wiring is still ongoing in our systems, and sometimes it's quite frustrating. So your mind knows your current circumstances, your brain knows your current circumstances. It perceives that as safe. It's something that you're familiar with. You understand it. You understand how to operate in that prison, like your little box of life. It knows how to keep you alive in your current circumstances. So anything outside of those circumstances is perceived as danger, and that could mean death. So everything about you is struggling to keep you, your mind and brain are trying to keep you in your little box, as miserable as it could be, because that is how it's keeping you alive. So this is the problem with trying to change your circumstances. If you're trying to make more money, that's perceived as dangerous. If you're trying to become single and get out of a bad relationship, that's perceived as dangerous. Like everything is danger apart from the environment that you're currently stuck in. So your mind and body constantly comes back to homeostasis. Like that toxic relationship, I'm safer here. That money problems, I'm safer here. It'll just constantly, even if you take a few steps out of it, it might come back to it. Even things like a weight, like how your body be, that is safe. It's a known thing. So anything different. So it really does take a paradigm shift or a massive awareness shift in order for us to create something different, or at least feel safe in being something different. Now, if you've been in my world for a while, I always say, don't step out of your comfort zone, expand your comfort zone, because you're going to feel safe there. So sometimes when we're doing something that doesn't seem or perceive as scary to us, but to our nervous system it is, because it's different. We're just going to come back and go, hey, you're safe. You can stroke. I always love stroking this bit. It makes you feel really calm, and just gently stroking upwards from the top of your nose up. Your body just goes, ah, I feel safe now. So you need to do things that make your body feel safe. Your brain's number one thing is predicting. And to keep you safe, knowing what's going on in the here and now in your little environment, it can predict what's happening. So it knows how to keep you safe. It prefers the devil it knows than the unknown, because it can predict the devil. We're getting all Halloween here. So let's say your current environment is being punched in the face every day. Let's summarize it. Your brain would rather be punched in the face every day, because it knows that, it understands that, rather than have a possibility of something else. Because anything else is dangerous. Even if that's, moving to an environment where you won't get punched in the face every day and you don't get any damage to the body, that would be perceived as dangerous. It's bonkers. So what came up in the session with my client the other day was about how our current problems are unknown, our current problems we can cope with. Any other problems are perceived as really dangerous. So what came up in the session was that if we get rid of our current problems, we'll get more problems. Yeah, we always have problems. But we don't know what those problems are. So they're really dangerous, because anything other than what we know now is a problem. So it's a really bad word to use. So from moving from our current problems to unknown problems, it brings up a load of problems. It's very problem heavy. So what can we do about this? So finding ways of settling your nervous system down, feeling safe all the time, calms yourself down, and then you can start to push those boundaries a little bit of your comfort zone. We can start to name our problems as, I'm upgrading my problems. Like, we start to use different language and start to think about how we are perceiving our world and what we're saying to ourselves in order to start opening the doors to something different. And also noticing when our mind and our brain are putting the brakes on and going, okay, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. Taking some deep breaths and going, brain, it's okay. I know what you're doing. Thank you for keeping me safe. I'm going to do this anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. We can start to shift in small incremental ways, trying to keep our body mind feeling safe within that new comfort zone that we're creating, and slowly shift things so it doesn't feel so dramatic and traumatic to our body mind. So if we wanted to, quit our job and start our own business, you can do that. I mean, people have done it, I've done it. But what might be more ease for your nervous system is to carry on doing your job, but start doing a side hustle, even if you only spend one day on it a month, and then you slowly build that up. Your body mind's going to get more familiar with this new thing. It's going to get more familiar with the possibility of earning more money or doing something different. And that's going to start to make it feel a bit more normal. So we might need to take micro steps in order to build that new reality, but that's going to be safer, and it's going to stop the resistance coming up when we're trying to do something new and different. And we can start to shift things in everyday life. It's like just doing things different. We are creatures of habit. So if we start to get up at a different time of day, eat something different for dinner on a Friday, walk home a different route, catch a different bus number. Like, just doing small incremental things that are new and different. And, if you do something new and different every single day, your body mind's going to start going, oh, maybe I can do something different because I'm expanding what's known. If you keep doing the same thing in the same way every single day, there is no space for possibility. Your neural networks are just shutting down and blinkering to a very small version of reality. We need to expand them. We need to keep doing different things. If you cross your arms, which arm do you naturally put on top? I often cross my arms the other way because I'm like, I want to keep my brain aware and open. When you put your trousers on, which leg do you put in first? You probably have a habit. Do the other one. Like doing these small little things that seem really stupid, but doing them on the other foot or going a different way or walking down the road backwards. I don't know. Just doing maybe not. Doing small things that are different is going to start to open up you to more possibilities. And it's going to start helping your body and mind know, actually, we can do different things and I'm still safe. We don't want to make change the enemy. We want to make change an adventure, an experiment. So, what can you do that would be an experiment for your nervous system this week? What could you do that would be an experiment? What new problem can you introduce? No, don't do that. But what new experience can you introduce into your life that is going to start to open those doors to something different? Okay, hope you found this interesting. If you like this kind of content, please hit subscribe, press the bell, share it, comment, do all the things. Help the channel grow. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.